Welcome back, everybody. If you've watched tutorials number 13 and 14, we briefly discussed both the essence of revolutions, and we discussed very briefly how to read a dimension drawing. Not a whole lot of instruction on that, just enough to get through this project. We're going to actually kick off our Revolve tutorial now, and this is an extension of our 1, 2, 3 block. So we're going to be assembling our 1, 2, 3 block and this V-roller part later on. But for now, let's go ahead and begin. You'll notice up at the top, we haven't even saved a new drawing. So let's go over here to our disk icon, our save icon. And I would like you to save this one as your last name. Actually, let's change that up. We're going to change this to roller underscore or shift hyphen, and then your last name. And you can click save. And again, you should probably save this in a either your administration location, all right, or possibly in your 1, 2, 3 block location. That's fine. And we're going to click save. It's changed up at the top. And the next thing we're going to do, like we did with the 1, 2, 3 block way in the beginning, we're going to select create, and we're going to select new component. And we're also going to name that one as roller. And select OK. Again, if you have not checked your document settings, drop down and make sure your units are in inches. If they're not in inches, this is going to make a big mess a little bit later on. Your drawing is going to be extremely tiny. If you need to change it, select change active units, and once again, use the drop down menu and change it from millimeters to inches, and then you can click OK. So we need to create a revolved part. You're going to need that PDF file that I posted. All right, it has the dimension drawing on it. And we're going to select create sketch up in the top left-hand corner like we always do. And we're going to choose our XY plane. It doesn't really matter what plane you choose for this one. I just tend to start at XY. And we're going to start following our drawing. So your drawing starts with a 5.4142 inch line. All right. So I'm going to choose the line tool, or you can press the L key. So I'm going to press the L key. We're going to start at our origin point, and I'm going to point that line straight up. Notice that it says 90 degrees over there on the right. If I hit tab, it highlights. And over here on the left, it has my height. I want to select my height as 5.4142 inches. Okay, it's extremely important. And if your angle is not locked at 90 degrees, select tab and type in 90. You don't have to do that if it's already locked. And hit enter or return. And now we've got our first line. Now we're going to start building our part. So I'm going to choose the line tool again. So I hit L, and I'm going to pick up this point right here. Watch that you don't get stuff on your extension line. And I'm going to pull over here to the right. And this one is going to be 0.3125 inches. Okay, 0.3125 inches, or 5/16 of an inch. All right, and hit enter. Okay, now we're going to come down from this point right here. We're going to come down 1.5 inches. I'm going to hit return. I'm going to move this dimension out of the way so that you can see what's going on here. And then I'm going to draw another line that's going over to the right. Notice that right now I'm on this extension line. That's why it gets frustrating in this program sometimes. I'm going to come out here 0.6875 inches, enter, and there's a line in there. You can see it. All right. I'm going to choose the line tool again. Now we're going to come straight down 0.5 inches. Now I'm going to move this one out. Now you'll notice everything's kind of the same color, so this takes a little bit of concentration to make sure that you're looking at the right things. Okay. From this point, I'm going to choose the line tool again. And this time we're going to type in both of our dimensions. So I'm going to pick up this point. When I get that little blue box, it snaps. And I'm just going to kind of hover back in here. I'm coming back towards the kind of start point. And this time, If you look at your PDF drawing, you'll notice that there was a message in there, or a note, that says 90° V, 1 inch side. So I know my length is going to be 1. And then I'm going to select the tab key, and you'll notice that my degrees are now highlighted. And I'm going to type in 135 degrees and select enter. That's got that all locked in. If I want to, I can pull this down, and we can even kind of move the angular dimension in there, just like that. Now we're going to select our line tool again. I'm going to click on the end of that line we just created. Notice we're always connecting to the previous point. And there's a couple ways to do this. I can either type it in. All right. Do not type in 135. Notice that this is locked at 90 degrees. If you look in there, you'll see that little, looks like a blue diamond. Okay, that's your 90-degree mark. So leave it locked and type in 1 and hit enter. Okay. If that is good to go, you should have two 1-inch dimensions, 1 and 1, and there should be a 90-degree angle here. All right. Now let's pretend, I'm going to undo that. Let's pretend that I didn't want to waste all that time. You can use your snaps to your advantage. So I'm going to choose the line tool, pick this up, and I'm going to come down here at 45 degrees. But I want to get 1 inch, and if I don't want to type anything, I'm going to go up here and hover at the other start point, and then I'm going to pull straight down. See that dotted blue line? And when it hits 45 degrees, we're good to go. So once again, line tool, start at the bottom, pull out a line and hover at the top point, and then pull straight down. And when it locks at 45 and at 1 inch, you'll notice it's kind of sticking there. I'm going to click, and we've got our line. And then I can jump down here, come straight down, type in 0.5, enter, pick up my line tool again, coming back in, so to the left, 0.6875, enter. We're going to choose our line tool yet again. We're coming down 1.5 inches. Okay. And if you can't quite find that, type it in, 1.5, enter. And then we're going to connect the dots. So here to here. And it should turn orange. If you've made it this far, you're ready to do your revolved command. If you're struggling with these dimensions, go back and look at it. All right. Couple different things we could do. We could do a mirror operation here too, but I don't want to get into that. I don't want to confuse everybody. So let's try and get this shape drawn. All right, refer to both this video and your PDF file and see if you can get this far. And then you can move on to the next tutorial.